Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about the James Gunn repetitive pattern. So, Creature Commandos, the trailer dropped, I think, a week ago, or this week, a couple of days ago, and I noticed something. When I watched it, I'm just like, the tone and vibe of this seems very familiar. I feel like I've seen this before. I feel like I've heard this before. And then I stopped and thought about it. Oh, wait, this is basically James Gunn's Suicide Squad. But then I'm all like, oh, wait, this is basically his Guardians of the Galaxy. And that right there is now the problem. James Gunn is a very talented man. There are some of his movies I do like, and he's a really good writer. The problem is James Gunn tends to not want to evolve anymore. He made a bunch of movies in the 90s that I've never heard of. Some people have. I guess now they're considered a cult classic only because James Gunn is James Gunn now, but when they came out, they was trashed by a lot of people. He has that, his original pattern was filth, you know what I'm saying? He loved that dirty humor type stuff, similar to that of South Park, but beyond that of South Park and stuff. And cause there are tons of pictures of him online. There's pictures of him at that strange, adult baby kind of goth party. There are pictures of him and his friends standing in front of a Confederate flag, acting really stupid, and they're acting almost like they're homosexuals and stuff, indicating that people who, it's similar to that Dave Chappelle skit where it's a racist or gay and stuff like that. And so it's kind of like he's kind of mocking them in that way. And so that was his original, brand back then. But then he started to change a little bit. And lately, I've started to notice that his whole, gimmick now is a group of heroes having them band together when normally they wouldn't, having potty humor type, dialogue and stuff like that, and having them be a rough and tough brute of a group that nobody wants to associate with. And I'm just this has been his pattern for the last couple of movies and stuff. Of course, there's Guardians of the Galaxy and everything. It's a ragtag bunch of group that nobody wanted to associate with because they was criminals and outlaws and outcasts, and they had potty humor, and they banded together to save the universe. Then, of course, there is his Suicide Squad movie, which I actually like his Suicide Squad movie, but it didn't make that much money at the box office because it was rated R and stuff. And his Suicide Squad movie was basically Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. And, right down to, not so much the costumes, but, a little bit of the costumes. But mostly right down to the humor, the tone. Once again, it's like a bunch of outlaws and criminals banding together to save something when normally they never would. It's getting so repetitive. It's does this man not have anything else in his arsenal? It's getting stale. It's getting bland. It is beyond boring at this point. And then you got Creature Commandos and everything. And I remember the only time I've ever seen this was a DC short that's on a DVD. Can't remember what DVD it is, but I own that DVD. And it was a really good short. It's Rick Flag. He was back in World War II or some crap like that. Some of his army commando dudes got experimented on and turned into monsters, and they fought the bad guys and stuff. It was a straightforward DC short. There was no humor in it. It was just as serious can be, right? And it was hard, dark, and gritty. Now you have James Gunn version, and it's once again his silly, over the top potty humor with a bunch of people who just flick people off and all this other crap. And I'm all what happened to this man? Does he not know how to evolve from his own style and everything? Now, granted, he is basing this on a certain comic. I've never read that comic. It might be a little silly. I have no idea. But the fact of the matter is that once again, it's just the same old, same old, same old. And I'm afraid he's going to do that to his Superman movie. I mean, his Superman movie is the first established movie in the DCU. It should be a solo Superman movie. But once again, here he is bringing in all these other heroes and stuff. Heroes we never seen, mostly on the big screen. And that's really getting on my nerve. And another thing he does that's repetitive is that he bring in these heroes that aren't very well known and he sticks them in the movie and hope they will do well. That's another thing he's doing. Like he's bringing in Guy Gardner. A lot of people don't like him. Mr. Terrific is well known, but you know, we've only seen him on the CW. We've seen one version of Hot Girl on the CW. And other than that, we've never seen her in live action. But a Superman movie should just be that, a Superman movie. Now, I don't think the Justice League International is going to play a huge role in this movie. I hope not. But you never know. And it does make me wonder the tone of this movie, because we don't know nothing about this movie yet. We've never even seen a teaser trailer. We've seen pictures, but not even a teaser trailer. The pictures are laughable at best. And I don't understand how a teaser trailer isn't even out yet. And they just had Comic-Con. Like, when you make a trailer first while you're making the movie so you can present something to the audience and get them even more hype. Because the pictures he's giving us is not making us hype. They're making people laugh at it. And I'm afraid that he might add his stupid humor in the movie. Or his little adult potty humor jokes and everything. Like, he just might slip that in just because he's James Gunn and everything, you know? And even the Superman suit resembles that of the Guardians. Like, I'm sorry, this is a god-awful suit. It's a big, bulky, like, jacket. And look how ginormous that, like, belt is, man. It looks frigid. It looks rinky-dink. It doesn't even look like a real belt. It looks like a hunk of plastic and everything. So I'm really scared about this movie, you know? Because of the simple fact he's adding, once again, a group of heroes in a movie that wouldn't necessarily get along with one another. And this group doesn't, like, at least Guy Gardner seems like he wouldn't get along with Superman. And maybe Hot Girl won't either. So once again, it's that same pattern. Now, some might want to trace this back to his Scooby-Doo movie. He wrote, but not directed, the Scooby-Doo movie. So he wrote everything in it. And once again, it's a group of people that are considered heroes, and in this movie version they can't get along with one another because they disbanded. And when they band back together, once again they constantly bicker about everything, and I do mean everything. And there's a lot of adult humor in this, of Scooby-Doo of all things. So it's kind of like this man needs to evolve, and I mean evolve. Now, he did come out with Brightburn. I've never seen that. It's about a little boy who has the powers of Superman and is supposed to be evil. That is different and everything, but it didn't do that well. But it's just kind of like, it makes you now wonder, all these other DC projects he wants to create, how many heroes are we going to see crammed in these movies? Like, take Superman. Why is Maxwell Lord in this movie for? Why? He's basically Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor is also in this stinking movie. And it's just kind of one of those things that where it's like, this man needs a banger of a win. Like, he really does. I don't see him lasting that long in DC, quite honestly, because there are more and more pictures of his past resurfacing, and there are people on Twitter, you know, that are trying to use that against him. But we all know the type of people that's trying to do that to him because they want a certain franchise to come back. But, like, you know, eventually one of those pictures is going to land him in some hot water. Like, when I first saw that Confederate flag picture, I was like, holy crap. But then I'm all like, well, hold up, why are they posed like that? And I'm like, oh, okay, they're mocking people who like that flag and everything. But, you know, as a creator, he's gonna have to just, well, evolve and everything. He can't keep doing the same stuff he's doing over and over, because people are now calling him out on this. Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, Creature Commandos. It's literally all the same thing, but with different heroes. And it all goes back to that of Guardians and stuff. It's like he knows that Guardian works, so he's all like, all right, I'll just incorporate that into everything. But you can't do that. Like, is Batman, that brave, bold, whatever movie it's supposed to be called, is it gonna be like that? I hope to God not. I better only see the Bat family up in that movie. I only see everybody else. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.